Hi, I'm Larry McDonald with the Bear Traps Report. A little bit about me. I've spent about 40 years on Wall Street. I was lucky enough to create ConvertBond.com in the 90s. We sold it to Morgan Stanley. I made my way over to Lehman Brothers. I ran our distressed business there in convertible bonds and distressed bonds. And very fortunate, we wrote the New York Times bestseller about the failure of Lehman Brothers. Is now in 12 languages. It's one of the best-selling business books in the world, on the top 20 of the CFA Society and the CFA Institute. And I'm really, over the years, I've spent a lot of time developing the Bear Traps Report institutional chat. And this is a fascinating product where we work with about 650 of the largest institutional investors around the world. These are professional hedge funds, mutual funds, and pension funds. And we really take a look at a buy-side conversation and bring that to retail investors. I'm really excited to bring you David Einhorn of Greenlight Capital. He's one of the most successful value managers in modern finance since the 90s, had one of the best long-term track records in the value space, especially early on in the 90s and 80s. And what's happening in our institutional chat over the last 2 months, there's been a clear conversation between institutional investors around this colossal shift, this historic shift from growth stocks into value stocks. And a lot of people, a lot of asset allocators are talking about companies like Greenlight Capital. I'm seeing a real secular shift where asset managers are moving capital from growth to value. And that's why I wanted to bring David to the table today, because he has the best lens on the growth to value space right now in the market.
I got some very good mentoring and teaching and instruction about how to go about becoming a value investor, which isn't anything that I naturally aspired to do, but it was a path away from business school, and I enjoyed it immensely.
This was a compelling conversation and a look at some of the most important trends, the look down the road ahead that we all are facing. There's a colossal shift going on from hard assets into hard assets from financial assets. And the last decade was very much a deflationary decade where growth stocks and bonds dominated the table. And now what we're seeing is a real secular shift into not just value stocks, but hard asset plays. And that's probably my best takeaway from the conversation with David.
It doesn't really matter which electric vehicle company wins the battle. The fact is that's the way that we're going. And so you don't have to pick a winner. You just have to understand that change is happening in a broader way. And unlike the electric vehicle companies, you're not paying a very high multiple or a high price to participate.
But also, remember, this is a man that really made some of the best short calls in the history of hedge fund investing. So he was short Lehman Brothers. We go into our 21 Lehman systemic risk indicators. We go into, portfolio construction. A lot of valuable things that people learn through a lifetime of investing are all really condensed into this interview. And I think you're going to get so much out of it.
And I think some prices obviously seem like they're likely to come down, like used car prices and stuff like that. But there's others that seem like they could go higher.
We're really excited about this 2-part series. In part 1, we look at risk management, portfolio construction, advanced accounting shenanigans, our 21 Lehman systemic risk indicators, a lot of the inside tricks and things we've learned over the years in both hedge fund investing, value investing, in my career and David's career. In the second part, we look at David's best ideas looking forward, what's coming down the road ahead, this colossal growth to value rotation, a movement to hard assets away from financial assets, which are bonds and growth stocks, into value stocks and hard assets, commodities. And especially we're looking at electric vehicles, new trends with metals, and how that's going to impact investors sitting home right now. You're really going to enjoy both of these segments. I really had a great time with David Einhorn. The inspiration, the learning, the lessons, looking forward and looking back. It's such a telling conversation. Thanks for being with us.